My children, do you want to know a story? A story from an ancient forgotten era. An era so forgotten that we don't even know it existed. Back in my day, everything was so vibrant and colorful. But now, everything is dull and full of shit. Just like you. And I'm tired of this shit.
Yep, that's right. Anime and cartoons back in the 1990s and 2000s were so freaking colorful. The top 3 anime, Naruto, Pokemon and Dragon Ball, and I think One Piece as well, they were all very colorful. But nowadays, it's all freaking dull and freaking full of shit. I mean, look at this. This is the Naruto's war arc. It's so freaking dull. The colors are so freaking dull. And when we compare that to the actual season 1 of Naruto, it is a night and day difference. Jesus, it is a night and day difference. Jujutsu Kaisen. People cannot do the sunset kind of like this sepia, the sunset kind of like colors. Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a bit. So people just can't do this. This can be so much more colorful. This is of course Demon Slayer. The colors are good over here, but they can be still better. Even some of the Pokemon scenes, so these are from the latest Pokemon Journeys anime, and this is the older ones, and this is the oldest one of them all, the first one. This is so freaking vibrant when compared to any of these over here. So what exactly happened? So why is all anime nowadays so freaking dull? The colors are so freaking dull. Like they have no freaking life whatsoever. Like look at this. This is the old Dragon Ball kind of like scene, and this is the newer Dragon Ball Super scene. This looks so freaking colorful when compared to this. So the number one problem right over here is, in my opinion, the use of blacks and grays for shadows. Okay, you should never freaking use black and gray shadows, otherwise it's gonna freaking look dull. It's gonna make everything muddy. It's gonna freaking look dull. So let's take these two scenes for example. Okay, look at this over here. We do not have any black shadows over here. We have these Prussian blue kind of like shadows over here. Everywhere you see, these are like very dark kind of like Prussian blue shadows. But look over here, what is happening? These are all freaking black shadows. Everything over here is black shadows, which makes everything look dull. This looks so freaking vibrant, and that is the reason. The shadows, the black shadows are the reason. You never do black shadows. You make colorful shadows and everything starts to look freaking vibrant. I do not understand how is this possible. How is this art direction possible? Why? Who made this change? Who made the decision to add black shadows in a cartoon world where everything is stylized, the colors are stylized, the characters are stylized and everything else? Who the fuck made this decision to add black shadows? And everywhere it's the same. In Naruto as well, in Pokemon, in some of the Pokemon things as well, all of these freaking black freaking shadows over here. You make the shadows colorful and everything gets freaking colorful. These are colorful shadows. Look over here. This is from the very first Pokemon episode. This is very colorful. This looks so freaking colorful. Why does it look colorful? Because it has colored freaking shadows over here. You don't do black shadows, otherwise it gets all freaking muddy and it gets all freaking dull. Now you would argue some of these paintings over here, they are muted, okay? They have these muted colors, okay? But this is not the way you do muted colors. Muted colors have some saturation to them. I will throw them up on the screen right now. Muted colors, muted paintings have some saturation, a little bit of saturation, at least in like one single part of that, of those muted paintings have that saturation. The only time you use black shadows is when the style demands for it. Like for example, if you are using a freaking comic book style. So in most comic book styles, they have like black shadows with saturated or maybe desaturated color or something. Okay. So for example, a prime example of this would be Hades. So look at this. This is the animation for the Hades game. This shit has like black shadows, okay, but everything else is also very colorful. So that kind of like balances the black shadows with a lot of freaking colors. All right, and this looks cool because this is kind of like a comic book style kind of like animation. This is how it's done. This is how you do black shadows if you want to do it. And if you still want to use black shadows, you use it in the dark at night time. You don't use it when it's like when you are drawing something like a daylight scene. Okay, so now how do you fix this? The first step towards having good colors is to take a reference, just like you take a reference while drawing anything else. So take references from the artists that you like, the artists that you admire, okay, or from your favorite games or movies, etc. Now coming back to Demon Slayer, this is very colorful indeed. Yes, I agree. This is very colorful indeed, but this can be better, okay? And black shadows is not the only way to add color to your drawings. You make everything colorful by choosing the right freaking colors with the right freaking color temperature. So the problem with this is colorful, yes, but it is also dull because of the lighting choices that they made for this scene. All right, but over here I have made it a lot more colorful, and this is not just raising the saturation level. This is choosing better and proper colors. So look at this part over here. This is very yellow kind of like light that is like falling onto his pants, but over here I have shifted that kind of like orangish, yellowish or brownish light towards the reds, okay, making it even more intense, because this is in the dark, and as you go in the dark, as the yellow light kind of like goes in the dark, it turns towards the red, it becomes reddish, okay. And his hair over here is so freaking desaturated. Why? This is freaking yellow lighting, yellow and red lighting. Why does his fiery kind of like crimson hair becomes desaturated in that yellow and orange light? So this is the proper color of his hair. In fact, his hair should be more redder, if anything. Same goes over here. I removed these black shadows and added a kind of like very dark red kind of like shadow. Maybe you can add a green or something, or a Prussian blue if you want to, if you don't want to add the red or something. Then this is a yellow kind of like light. So the yellow light, when it's gonna fall onto his clothes, they are gonna become more yellow. But over here it's more desaturated. Why? What is the reason for that? And even over here the greens are more saturated. I made them a bit more vibrant, a bit more saturated, so that it complements the yellow and the reds of the scene. So I do not understand why are these animators, these production studios making all these decisions. If the cartoon or if the anime is colorful, then make it colorful. Then let the freaking colors pop. Why is it so freaking hard to make it colorful? This is as if they are intentionally doing this. Like we are intentionally desaturating the colors, making everything dull. Same goes in the sunset scenes. So I have seen a lot of freaking people who cannot do sunset scenes. People do not understand that the colors shift to reds while there is a freaking sunset. They do not shift to the yellows. You do not make everything yellow and desaturated. So this is from Attack on Titan. Look at how dull this looks as compared to my corrected version. And this is from BGMI's anime-ish trailer or something, which was done by a lot of freaking Indian people. This is sad. This is definitely sad. This is even worse than Naruto and everything else. Because one thing, this is all freaking desaturated. Second thing, I cannot pinpoint any of the key colors over here. Like what is a tank top color? What is a lipstick color? What is this guy's bag's color? What is the belt and the tie color? Huh? How do you do this? You have this chance to make this right. You got this chance to make this right. How do you mess this up? The only color that I can figure out is her hair color and the skin colors. These are the corrected colors, and the sunset colors. Yes. What the frick is this? Why is this all desaturated? This is not a sunset. This is a sunset. Jesus fucking Christ. Choose your colors properly. I swear to God. Like take a look at this. This is so freaking colorful. Why you can't do something like this? Hades. Take inspiration from Hades. Holy fuck. Take inspiration from games. Games do colors really nicely. Look at this. This is how you make sunset colors. This is how you make the yellow kind of like colors. And even this is how you make those yellowish kind of like colors. This is not a yellow. This is a freaking orange. And these are all muted colors. But why do they still look colorful? Because there is this one freaking color in the scene which is not muted, and that is this red. But still this scene is freaking muted. Jesus fucking Christ. And now take a look at this. These are so freaking vibrant. This is just blue and reds. That's it. And now this one as well. Green and red. Same goes over here, blue and red. And some part of it is like green and red. This is how you color grade your drawings. You don't do shit like this or this. Okay, so these are some of my animations over here. This is my Naruto animation which I did last year. It is still so freaking colorful. Look at it. Okay, why you can't do something like this? And this animation is from my original IP which I did this year. It is so freaking colorful. Alright, and I have never used black freaking shadows. Look at this. Tell me where are the black shadows over here? Tell me. I have never used them at all. There are no freaking black shadows over here. And these are some of my colors. These are some of my color freaking studies. Okay, I do them freaking regularly. This is how you do freaking colors. Look at this. This is so freaking colorful. Now you would argue that we have to stay in the color temperature, so that is why the colors are freaking dull. But that is not the case. That is not how you freaking do it. This is how you do it. This is all inside the color temperature. I have never strayed away from the color temperature in this painting when I fixed it. This is all in the analogous color scheme. Even in this one. This is all in the color scheme. This is all analogous freaking color scheme. But your colors will be much more vibrant if you do not stray too much with the actual color temperature. So this is a prime example of that. The actual color temperature is like the sunset kind of like color. It's like a sepia or a sunset, like a orangish color. That is why the artists have chosen to have everything, every color over here in that orangish, blackish kind of like tone, okay? But if you keep the original colors slightly and just move them slightly towards the color temperature color. So for example, over here, this is a green kind of like bag, but I have made it a yellowish green, okay? Because the color temperature over here is kind of like yellowish, orangish, reddish. So the green is gonna be much more warmer than being cooler. So that is why this looks like a yellowish kind of like green, okay? So keep the original colors, but move them slightly towards the color temperature. And yes, of course, bump up the saturation because it has to be colorful. If you keep everything in gray, it's gonna look washed out like this, okay? Compare this to this, okay? This looks much more vibrant, okay? But this is much more kind of like washed out. And one more thing, always remember, warm color, cool shadows, cool color, warm shadows. So for example, over here, the light is warm, but the shadow is much more warmer than the light. So essentially the light becomes cooler than the shadow. So yeah, this is how you actually color. You do not keep everything in black and gray, okay? Please do not do that, because it is your paintings are gonna look really bad if you do that. Really off, really bad, really muddy, okay? Please do not do that. Please choose good colors, okay? Find your favorite artists, find your favorite games or movies, okay? And choose colors from there, or maybe take those references, mix and match together and create something, some new kind of like color style, okay? For whatever project you're working or for your style whatsoever, all right? Like I genuinely want people who are doing these awesome artworks or who are doing these awesome art pieces to have good colors, okay? to have good work. All right, I genuinely want that. I do not want half-assed product. Okay, I did not get any chance. I am freaking unemployed and broke as fuck. Okay, I'm just sitting here and just ranting about shit that I cannot control. Okay, so if you're getting such a good chance to express yourself, express your art and your creativity and your colors in an anime or in a game or something like that, okay, please do not freak this up. But I personally feel that this is not the artist's problem. Okay, this is not done by artists. Artists cannot choose bad colors. But if you're an artist who chose these bad colors, then you should definitely go back to freaking kindergarten. Kids can do better colors than this. And if you are not an artist who decided these colors, then it is not your job to decide the colors, because you're not an artist. You do not know what looks good, what doesn't look good. Anyways, that's about it. So yeah, so I hope that people learn from this video. Okay, people learn to choose good colors from this video rather than choosing some dull as fuck and some desaturated colors. Muted colors are not desaturated colors. Muted colors still have that a little bit of saturation somewhere. Okay, so yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it. That is my only. I wish that people learn from this video and choose better colors. All right, that's about it. So yeah, please subscribe, because I literally make videos regularly and also do live streams and all of that shit. Okay, and also join the Discord as well. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Subscribe, or else I will come there and send you back to kindergarten. Goodbye.